One of the things that we're really excited about in terms of the evolution of Hearthstone, where we go next, is just we've been going through a lot of balance testing, a lot of sort of tweaking in terms of the feature set. But one of the things we haven't been able to do yet is get it into the hands of everybody who wants to play it. So that's really what open beta represents for us, is anybody who wants to check it out, which we think the game really speaks well to people whether they've played card games or not before. This is really the chance to have everybody to go in and check out the game. We think that playing Hearthstone on a touch device is one of the best ways to play Hearthstone. It just really kind of works really well with one of our main goals, to keep the game feeling very physical and making it feel like you can drag the cards around and interact with all the various game elements. And doing that on a tablet or doing that on a phone, as we've announced today, is just a really great way to experience the game. We really spent some time thinking about what's the experience we want for our players. And ultimately what we really wanted is kind of a safe, fun, accessible environment. And while trading is a great way to sort of exchange cards, there's some problems with it. So one of the problems is, as a new player, I may not always know the value of my cards. So there's a good chance I could sort of jump into a bad trade, like take one particular rare card I got and trade it for two of your common cards, not knowing that it was a good trade. And so we wanted to kind of protect against that. Another thing is that the problem with the secondary market is that there's a finite supply. So if there's a particular card I want, maybe it's not available on a particular day. And so the benefit of our crafting system is that if there's a particular card I really want Ragnos or really want Onyxia, once I've accumulated enough dust, there's always going to be the ability to go and purchase that card, or craft it essentially. Part of the reason why we have a crafting system and part of the reason why we have the system we do for chat that we do is because we want to build that kind of safe environment for all players. And we made the decision not to have open chat for any person who's getting match made with another opponent for a very similar reason, which is that, while the internet's awesome and I can play with a range of different players, I can also sort of find myself in a match with somebody who's just, berating me and kind of giving me a hard time because of a particular play I made, or was just having a bad day or whatever it is. And so we wanted to make it so that it was always going to feel good. And so we built an emote system where I can still communicate with my opponent without having to suffer through, a lot of expletives and things like that as I'm playing. We're really focused on Warcraft for Hearthstone right now because it's such a rich universe and there's so much history there and so much lore, and we feel like we can continue to build a very rich additional set of cards for Hearthstone in the years to come, just by staying within Warcraft. There's always, that's come up as an idea, that what if we do Hearthstone with a different IP or something like that, but for right now our focus is just within Warcraft. So, we feel pretty good with the 9 heroes, the 9 classes we have right now. In terms of expanding beyond that, that's definitely feedback we've gotten from the beta, that people have given us a lot of feedback, like, yeah, it'd be awesome if I had a different hero I could pick from, a different warrior, a different priest. In terms of how we actually go and add that in as a separate feature, still a little too early to say. We're focused on just making the 9 core heroes we have right now feel awesome, but that's definitely something we'll be thinking about as we move into the next phase of our roadmap. We think Hearthstone works great as an esport. We kind of felt that a little bit internally before we got to the point of the beta, but we wanted to wait and see how the players responded to it. And we've seen a huge amount of players streaming the game, a lot of great response about this could be really fun to watch, and it's a really fun competitive game to play. So we're actually looking at a lot of the potential for where we could go in terms of adding more esports related features. And at Blizzcon today and tomorrow we're going to be showing Innkeeper's Invitational, which kind of highlights some of the best top-level players that we had from the beta, who are the streamers. And we're going to continue to look at other ways that we can expand on that in the months to come. We are excited about doing expansions. We definitely will be releasing additional card sets in the future for Hearthstone, but we don't really know the cadence yet, and that's kind of a delicate balance. We want to make sure that players have a chance to experience all the cards without getting overwhelmed with new cards being released too frequently. And particularly because we haven't even reached open beta yet, where a lot of people who want to play can even experience them the first time. We really want to give it enough time for those cards to be to kind of sink in and everybody get a chance to explore the various ways you can play. But at the same time, we don't want to go too far because we do think it's really fun to get new packs and new boosters and try to mix up the game. So you can definitely expect us to see, we're targeting at getting our first expansion out within by next year. In terms of exact dates, we're still sort of figuring out exactly where that'll land. Yeah, so there's definitely additional things we'd like to do besides just releasing expansion packs. So one of the things we announced today was the idea of adventures. And what an adventure is, it's a single-player PvE-style mode where I can go in, fight against some bosses, and earn additional cards just through playing the game. They wouldn't come out of booster packs. I would just get them as essentially rewards for defeating the bosses. And we think that this is a great way to introduce small amounts of additional cards over time. Not hundreds, but let's say probably in the 20 to 30 range. And this will be enough to mix up the metagame to give various classes a chance to try a couple different cards. And we want to do those more frequently than expansions just to kind of keep the game fresh.